Well, hello, good day. How's it going? I'm up in Grand Marais, Minnesota, and I have got a canoe up on top of my Jeep. Well, shout out to Joe for loaning me this canoe. It's a 14.5-foot solo canoe. It's a Winona with hyphens. Drove all day to get up here, got my permit, went and scouted out what lake I'm going in tomorrow, Morgan Lake, and then get up in the morning. It's supposed to be raining, supposed to get down to 43 tonight. And this is after we had like 99-degree weather down in the Twin Cities. Up here in Grand Marais, like we got a cool front, so it's going to be a cold rain tomorrow. But you know what? 5 days out on the lakes, I am so ready for that. Heading into Morgan Lake, got about a mile portage in, and as far as I can tell, most of the other portages are pretty reasonable. I kind of have my route pretty planned, you know, nothing locked down so tight. It's almost like a big loop. They're smaller lakes. I'm playing it safe since I'm a novice canoer. I've practiced my J-stroke. I got a backup paddle. I'm ready to go. I've thought this out. I got dry bags in my pack. I took my old Kelty Coyote pack. Yeah, you know what? Joe and Maggie, I'm grateful too. Yes, I am. Feels like a pretty good load, though my pack feels way heavier than usual because I pack like a canoer. I figure I don't have to carry it that far. Here we go. I'm in Morgan Lake. We are off. That was a 360 rod portage, about a mile. I think it's 360. I'll check the map when I get my glasses on. It was not that bad. Heavy load, boy, I'll tell you. A little different than backpacking. The rain has started, just a sprinkle. It's windy. And I'm excited to be out here. Woo, buddy! This is it. First solo canoe trip, 5 nights. Time for a little snackerino. I realized I was getting a mite bit peckish because this morning when I got up at Joe's place, I just downed some coffee, ate a pack of peanut butter crackers, and you know, just yesterday was a long day to drive up here, 5 hours, get to the ranger station. I did a little recon to where I was going, which I was glad I did because got right there this morning. Boom, bang, bing. And go through this lake and get over to Vista Lake and pop around, see if I can find a site. I hear there's great sites there. This was a very little short portage, which I'm going to start calling a shortage. It was only 55 rods. So I just carried the canoe, went back out the back, carried it over. It's, you know, actually, with the wet ground, it's just a little bit easier. Maybe in a couple days when I'm in the groove and my pack is a little lighter, I will do more single carries. But these little short ones, it's just as easy to carry that over, go get that, bring this back over, have a little lunch, get everything back in the canoe, strap it down. I am securing everything for now because I'm not a real experienced canoer or canoeist. So just in case of capsize. But right now, got a little break from the rain. Hallelujah! Wind coming this way, so I've been paddling into the wind. It's not really that much of a problem, actually. Feeling the stroke. Yes, indeed. That's some crazy moss. Looked like somebody throwing a blanket on that rock from far away. All right, I made it to Vista Lake and I'm excited to see the vista. I would say I'm sitting high and dry, but I'm sitting high and moist. High and just slightly damp. Yeah, it rained, and I just can't quit looking at that lake. I'm up on this hill here on Vista Lake. Man, it's just a beautiful sight. And I went all the way up to the north end of it and down to the west, and there's a campsite way all the way down in this Sasquatch Bay. But I got down there and none of the hangs looked good. There was a lot of, must have been from the storm, a lot of dodgy trees, and anywhere I could have hung was sort of in over a bunch of rocks and a little tight, and you know, just some big widowmakers kind of nearby them. So I sat there and ate some peanuts and looked at it 3 times trying to convince myself to stay there, but I didn't. And then I came on back, and then I saw a couple of canoers out, and I was wondering if they were making their way for this site, because I checked this out earlier. And I mean, I boogied on back and got here. I'm sitting in a brand new hammock. It's a Superior gear. It's the Starlight, and I'm using got my 30 degree. It's what they call the Comforter, and you've probably seen me use it in the winter on the outside of my deep winter rig with my 15 degree Superior gear. But this snaps on, and it's a double layer. The inside layer is the Cloud 71, and the outside is like an Argon, almost a 1 point. So it's super light, removable bug net. Works the same way. You just kind of snap on your underquilt or the comforter here, and you know, you got an area where you can slide a pad in. So I'm test riding that thing. Me and Danny talked about it. I said I wanted one, and now I got one, and I said I'll take it out, give it a ride, man. So brought my Superfly tarp, and I'm kind of glad I did. It's sort of nice to have a little extra coverage, because I'm on a canoe trip. Just I can't believe I'm out here. Can't believe we got a canoe down there, and I didn't capsize. Yes, sir, still wearing these wet boots, wet socks. I tried to keep a dry foot on the portages, getting in and out of the canoe for like the first one. And you know, you just got to go ahead and step in, man, and you know, up to your knees sometimes. I guess that's a canoe thing, just a soggy foot. I know my last trip was that I did with Strung Out and Alex was 2015, I think, maybe even 2014. You know, I was just the bow man. I was just paddling. I was a motor. Today I had to steer the boat, drive the boat, power the boat, carry the stuff. You know, 5 days feels like a lot of stuff, and I don't know. I'm finding things here, man. I got a big chunk of summer sausage. I mean, I got to start eating that tomorrow, and some Reggiano Parmigiano cheese, and that's a heavy too. So tomorrow, man, I'm gonna have that at hand and gnaw away on it. But today, because of the rain and just sort of being new, I did snack on peanuts and stuff. Ate a little bit, probably enough. Definitely didn't drink enough. I think just because of the rain and the excitement and the newness. I love this when I'm going to have the Packet Gourmet Market Pasta Puttanesca. If you don't know what puttanesca means, look it up. I didn't want to really approach this like a backpacking trip. I'm not even carrying my usual pack. I got that Kelty Coyote there. You know, it's like you're taking these little short backpack trips all day on the shortages and the longer portages, and then you're in the canoe, paddling. It's new to me. I like it. It was very different. Very different. Get in the boat, get stuff in the boat, get in the boat, push off, paddle the boat. Get to your portage, pull up, step your legs in the water, get your feet all soggy, get your stuff out of the boat. Carry some stuff down the trail, then go back and get the canoe and you bring the rest of the stuff. Get it on over there. Then load the boat, then put the boat out in the water, then step in the water and get in the boat and paddle some more. I even bought a new chair. Just to bring all this instead of my stool. It's the lowest chair in the world. That's my clearance right there. It's the Helinox chair. Down so low. I'm down so low. I've been wearing my Sforza Bene. And this is the hat that Tommy sells. And he sells those little tables. In fact, I got one right here sitting with some stuff on it. My little table. I just love it. Yeah, I brought that too. But Tommy, this is the most comfortable hat I have, man. It's got like a little bit of stretch to it. I like the bee. Sforza Bene, it means black bee. Take a look at that. Goodness gracious, that's good eating. Windy out there. Makes me start thinking about maybe staying here today. Hey, 44 degrees. Just contemplating getting over there to get my food bag hanging up on the tree. My heavy 5-day food bag with all kind of goodies in it. But I'm ready for coffee. Slept great. Man, it rained hard last night. It's just pittering all day and then just started coming down. It was nice. Frosted strawberry Pop-Tart. I know. Looks quite festive, doesn't it? Feel rested. Nice and warm and dry. And I found this hammock, the Starlight by Superior Gear. Passed the test, I was comfortable. Bug net worked well. Oh man, it sure is windy out there. And cold. I don't know if I want to get my feet wet. I just don't know. What I ought to do is just take a day in camp and eat a bunch of this food. Yeah, think about it. I think the thing to do is just kind of have my Medaglia d'Oro instant espresso. Or for some of you, the Medaglia d'Oro instant espresso. And I find it kind of convenient. Screen on the run! Easy now, come home, back off. The more I think about it, the more I think I'm just going to stay at this camp today. I just don't know if I want to be fighting that wind. I'm going to be going into it and just, I don't know, it's cold. And I'm here, I don't have to do it, do I? Maybe I'll take the Ronco Pocket Fisherman and wet a line today. Got my fishing license. Thanks, Jonah. I'm excited to use that thing. And I got 2 spinners. This trip I got all my kitchen items in there because I got a few more than usual. One thing I really like is my table from Svrazzabini. I bought this bag, this traveling bag to keep it in, and when you set this up high, this bag will dangle beneath. But what I really like is just using it around camp as a catch-all, just throwing everything in there. It's made of a real thick, sort of a Cordura fabric. It's real thick, and man, I love that. I can just toss anything I think I'm going to need later in there, and I know where it is. So I'm looking on my inReach here, and the weather, 45 degrees, cloud coverage 30%, the wind's at 14, gusting to 28. Oh boy, got my buttermilk pancake mix all done. Got me some butter, some maple syrup. This old chef's pan I carried out just because I had it. Lopped the handle off. And yes, I brought my old canister stove. My Snow Peak. Just because I thought it'd be easier to cook pancakes. Let that be melting right on there, baby. Oh, they smell so good. Heat me up a little summer sausage. Smells great. Real great. Man, let's hit that with some good Wisconsin. Maple syrup. I want a lot. Mm-hmm. Oh, can you smell it? Dude, oh, that summer sausage heated up is fantastic. Mm. You know, even as I sit here and dine, and it's maybe getting to be 10 o'clock, it is still only 47 degrees with a wind. And at the last minute, I put this down jacket in, and I was thinking I wouldn't want it or need it. I said, "Ma'am, I'm gonna want it." Because, you know, you forget sometimes the wind blowing on you, just cutting through camp all day, it'll cool you off. So I'm really glad I got it. Keep putting it on and off. Tell you what, that summer sausage got me a big chunk of garlic, naturally hardwood smoked. I like to think that's done in a guy's backyard, or a gal, or a they or a them. Got the Ronco Pocket Fisherman that Jonah loaned me, and they used to do these commercials, Ronco Peel. You just kind of pop it out like that, and there's my little spinner spinning right now. So I'm gonna see if I catch something. Two people have already stopped by to ask if I was leaving this camp, so I decided it must be a good one, popular one, so I'm staying for the day. I'm gonna get up early, and head on out, because the one boat of people said, "What time you planning on leaving?" I said, "I should be gone by 9:30, 10. Hopefully I'm gone by 8, but I don't want anybody hovering me. Kind of liking the sidearm sling. I'm fishing and I'm wishing I'd catch myself a walleye or a sturgeon or a bass or a crappie or a perch or a northern. I'd take a shrimp, possibly a crab. Ooh, that was a good one. I kept getting a sharp pain in the bottom of my boot yesterday on certain steps, and I just realized I got a nail in there. Luckily my my insert saved me, but I get this really sharp pain. Look at that. That's crazy. Man, I got a nail in my boot. I was wondering what that was. Golly. I like the Boundary Waters. It's quiet. You know, this is a great reward for finishing my deck. I even brought a little bit of it out here with me with that little nail. Although I wasn't using any of those kind of nails unless that was already down in that soil. Looked like a shingle nail, so that could have been definitely from before and down in there. But it's just nice to sit here and listen to the breeze. Oh, don't you call me the breeze. Well, I was sitting over there having a nice, relaxing time. Started raining again. Tonight's dinner, camp chow. Single mac and cheese. And I got a chomp bar. Thank you, Chad. Yeah, it's just a little tiny candy bar. Cadbury. British candy. The mac and cheese was really good. I didn't even stop to tell you how good it was, because I was wolfing that down, man.
42 degrees at 10 to 5 in the morning.
Dagliadoro instant espresso. It's quick, it's easy. Be awake! Yeah, it's about 7 o'clock. Beautiful out here. That was cool, man. Get a nice little moment with a merganser. And there he goes. Missed the takeoff, but that's a cool looking fowl, waterfowl, duck species. Love it. All right, I've just entered Horseshoe. It was a short portage, really rocky and deep when you get into Horseshoe. I stepped off and went as deep as my nether regions. And I gotta say, I liked it. There's Mom and Dad and the 2 baby loons. Get them some food. All right, here we are at the end of Horseshoe, and we've gotten to the Rocky Portage. That was a little tricky getting her out right there. Trying to be easy with the canoe, because it ain't mine. And took the pack over there already. Now we'll head on down that way. It's rocky road. Well, the road is rocky and it won't be rocky long, because it is a shortage. Now I'm on Allen Lake. Just past the campsite. It was empty. Beautiful looking site, but you know, it's just not late enough in the day. I feel like I gotta put some paddling in today to make up for yesterday. But gosh, it is windy. I'm heading into it all day long. But it is kind of teaching me sort of how to play the wind a little bit. You know, sort of get a little bit of a 45 into it. Just let the canoe kind of, you know, angle into it a little bit. All right, I'm gonna have to look at my map here in a second and see where I'm going, but this lake pretty much just peters out. So when I get down there, I will have my shortage. I like how this lake just kind of peters out. It's narrow. According to the map, the portage is down here. Stopped at this campsite on Pillsbury Lake here. Had myself some garlicky summer sausage, some Parmesan cheese. Take a little break. It's like 12:45. I've been paddling a good while. Been fun. Totally enjoying it more today than the first day because it's not raining. So yeah, I'm going to head on over to, I think the route, I go to the end of this lake, I'll take a little jump down to another lake, and then cut over to Omega Lake. So it's kind of a little dream come true, you know, this winter and into the early spring. You know, I watched a lot of, during the pandemic, I watched a lot of Canadian canoers. I don't know why I watch more Canadian canoers than American canoers. It's just, maybe they video more. And there's a lot of names. There's a guy with a dog, I think his name's Matt, but the ones I watched the most were Jim Baird and Ted. Yeah! Jim, I don't know if you ever come across this, but Woo Buddy and yeah! And John and Aaron, Lost Lakes, I watched a lot of their stuff. That's even part of why I fished yesterday. Just watching people canoe, fish, and eat well. Happy Camper, Kevin, I learned a lot from your channel. It's kind of like having a little fine mix, you know. The water is fun. I do like, I mean, I'm feeling some different muscles. I got to get in paddle shape. Sort of feel my hip flexors a little tight. Got a little bit of canoe back because the pack's so heavy. Been stretching my back a lot, even this morning early. I stopped and did a little morning stretch out before I started. And carrying that canoe, engage the abs, keep it tight. And also to Joe Fredericks for, you know, telling me about this route, loaning me his canoe. Man, thank you, Joe. It means a ton that you would do that. You're a better person than me. I got to look deep down inside of me and be a lot nicer. So, there it was. That summer sausage, man, really gets you getting prolific. I was digging deep there. But it's exactly like I thought. A series of short backpacking trips with a lot of paddling. And when you're backpacking, you don't really get the option to paddle unless you build a log, you know, raft or something like that, or bring a pack raft, which I've never done. All secure in Sector 7. Where is Sector 7? 200 yards around me. So right now, Sector 7 is in right here on Pillsbury Lake. We're going to try to film a little bit of the portage here. Just what they look like. You gotta really kind of watch your steps with these wet rocks. I know these are slippery because I slipped on them with my pack. Didn't fall. putting big spaces between my words. Oh, this is pretty clear right here. That is the portage to Henson Lake. Leaving Pillsbury, heading to Henson. I've been paddling into the wind all day, so it hasn't been that bad. You know, it's just you gotta pay attention. You can't stop a lollygag, or your canoe turns around, goes the other way. I've checked out 2 campsites here on Henson Lake. One was a real nice site if you had tents, and the one I just looked at down in a little bay is doable. Didn't have a very good view of the lake, and felt like the devil had camped there. A little bit creepy. I was scared. I'll go back there if I need to, though. Doesn't look like it's been used very much. All right, I've been paddling a pretty long day now. It's probably coming up on 4 o'clock. I'm pretty sure I was in the water by 6:37. I didn't look, but I got up at just before 5. It certainly didn't take me 2 hours to break camp. In the rain. Oh, there's my campsite right there. I don't know what that was screaming. That's me going over a little stick. Got a nice rock face and a nice landing. Omega Lake. Woo, buddy! Omega Man! There it is, the Superior Gear Starlight Hammock. Double layer. Removable bug netting, zips on both sides. Has a Cloud 71 layer on the inside and an argon on the outside. Here's a little place to slip your pad between. Now you got to kind of fold your pad in half and get it down in there and spread it out. And there's one on that end too. Now I'm going to take the underquilt, which is a comforter, which you can use as a top quilt, and that's going to snap on, and mine is a 30 degree. So like last night, super warm, and I'm using my Hammock Gear 30 degree top quilt. So, it was not too hot, slept good and toasty. So I'll get that on there and you can check that out. So I got this thing in a oversized stuff sack. Easy to pack up in the morning. Whip that out. So that's it spread out like an underquilt. And because it's a top quilt, there's this little flappy piece that'll go in there when you cinch up your foot end. And just tuck that in the foot end as an underquilt. So we'll take the foot end first and just clip the suspension shock cord to each end. And he's got these cam snaps on here. And the first one is a double snap, so you know where to start. So I'll take my little double snaps. And I will snap, snap. And then you just go down with your single snaps. Snap. This would be a lot easier with my glasses on. Oh, I gotta get that LASIK surgery like Meg. And this just keeps it in place so you don't have to, man, when you crawl in and zip up the bug net, you're good, man. You don't have to reach out and adjust anything. So I think the time spent snapping is well used because it saves you time adjusting later. I really like it. Especially with a bug net. You don't have to unzip and reach out and goof around. Now just do the same thing on this side. Find my double snap. Start with that. Just two little snaps right beside each other so you always know if you're lined up. Snap. And these snaps hold too. I was dubious at first. Snap. 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 Yeah, snip. And then my last, one more single. Snip. And, whoops. Fabric's so buttery and slick. And that's that. And then let's get out of here. Crawl on in there. I got me some downy goodness under here, buddy. Tell you what. So, no more adjusting of this other than just, you know, I'll migrate my down a little bit. Man, I'm hanging down kind of low. Well, I've got to be very careful out on this little ledge. Because if I fell down there, that wouldn't kill me, that would just hurt. So I'll just be looking right back there. Looking south on Omega. Tomorrow I'll turn up there, head to the west, go to the right, check out the other site, see what I'm going to do, and figure out my route, where I'm going to go next. Woo, buddy. Oh, hickory. Look what I found hanging on the tree. Twine. Already wrapped up and waiting for you. I'll just leave it there till we come back. You got to come here with me someday. Maybe this fall. The Hickory brothers do a canoe trip. Man, this is great. I'm not near anybody. Kind of down at the end of this cove. Beautiful. Wildlife. Man, I am loving it. I am loving this. Whew, I feel good. I got a message back from my wife. Told her I did 5 or 6 portages. As Elias Meg says, wow, you're doing it with all the portages. Enjoy. Sweet dreams. I love you. Kiss, hug, kiss, hug. You know what? It's a good feeling to be loved. I know there's one person in this world that loves me, tolerates me. We've been married 36 years. 36 years! It's crazy. We were together years before that, like 4 or 5, all the way through the circus, some time in New York. Anyway, cocoa time in the woods. I'm having myself a mint chocolate cocoa as I sit out here. Wind is kind of cutting through, and you got the moon coming up out there. There's my setup back there. Looks good. Might pitch the tarp down a little bit tonight. Just didn't feel like stooping. Wouldn't you like to be sleeping right there? I'm having the Packet Gourmet Big Easy Gumbo. That's one of my favorites right there. Big Easy Gumbo and Dewey Spice Chicken Okra. That's the ticket, the okra. Tomatoes with gumbo filet. Or gumbo fowl. Long grain Louisiana rice and Tabasco. Woo, buddy! Aye! You know, I'm liking the low chair. It's nice to have the backrest. The back support is great, but getting down into it and getting out of it. I guess if I had an audience, I could hop out of it better. You know, I need a valet to help me get in and out of this thing. Damien, could you come over here and give me a hand and pull old Shug out of the chair? Now I'm very excited because tonight I'm having the Cadbury Twirl. Oh, that's one of my favorite Cadburys. And I'd like to thank Chad at Sasquatch Backpacking. Oh yeah. I did his podcast and he sent me a box of British Delights. I chunked a bunch of them in my pack. But the Twirl is one of my favorites. I'd say it's a cousin of the Flake, but it holds up a little better on a backpacking trip. Woo, buddy, man, goodness gracious, that's good eating. You know, I was just thinking about it. I was just talking into the camera to you, and it got me thinking, like today, I caught myself talking to myself at least 37 times. What is that? Maybe I've always done it. I think I just feel like I'm videoing all the time. Maybe it's just a thing, it's a 63-year-old retired man thing. But I try to keep myself from doing it, and then I just hear myself talking away to myself, nobody around. I feel honored and blessed to be here, and I'm glad I made the time to come and do this. That's what you got to do. Make the time, get yourself out there. Come on now.